There are places in the world where time seems to move with a softness all its own, where morning light drifts slowly across the surface of a quiet river, brushing gently against reeds that sway without hurry. In one of those calm bends of water, wide and welcoming, a hippo rests with only the top of its head above the surface. The world around it is peaceful, unhurried, shaped by rhythms older than memory. Tonight, we step into this soft landscape, letting its calm rise around us like warm water, lifting us weightlessly from below. Welcome to Sleepy Nature Sleep, where the wild grows soft and curiosity becomes calm. Tonight, let your thoughts follow the rhythm of the earth, your breathing settle like evening wind, and your mind wander gently through the quiet wild. Here, you are invited to drift, not to analyze or concentrate, but simply to float with the river's steady pulse. The hippo before us is not in a rush. It does not measure its day by tasks or expectations. It begins in stillness, surrounded by the gentle embrace of water that carries its body with patient ease. As we follow its slow journey, your own breathing may find a similar rhythm, steady and natural, settling into a place where the world feels spacious and soft. If these quiet journeys through gentle landscapes bring you peace, you're welcome to stay, to rest, to explore more of the quiet corners of the natural world with us. And if you ever feel called to support this space, through a like, a comment, or simply returning when your mind needs rest, know that it is enough just to be here. Tonight's story unfolds slowly, like mist lifting from the river as dawn warms the horizon. We will drift with the hippo through its tranquil day, watching how it moves through the world with calm certainty. We will notice how it floats just beneath the surface, how sunlight glides across its back, how the river holds it gently. There is a quietness to this animal's life that invites your own thoughts to settle, like sand softly sinking to the bottom of a still pool. So let your shoulders loosen. Let the air around you grow softer, as if dusk is settling gently on your skin. Allow your breath to match the river's unhurried sway, because the story begins here, in a place where the water widens, the light quiets, and the hippo drifts peacefully into view. A calm journey awaits you, and there is no need to move quickly, only to follow the river's slow, soothing path. Along the quiet riverbank, where reeds stand in loose clusters, a gentle question drifts through the morning air. It is not a question that demands an answer. It is not even a question that the hippo notices. It is simply something the landscape whispers, the way a soft breeze slips through tall grasses without ever disturbing their calm. The question is this: what does a creature shaped by water teach us about moving slowly through the world? It rises not in urgency, but in curiosity, an invitation to look more closely at the quiet moments often overlooked. Hippos spend most of their lives surrounded by water, letting it hold their bodies in a way that makes even the heaviest creature feel unburdened. As we watch the hippo rest with its eyes half closed, we begin to sense that its pace carries something we too once knew. A quieter way of being, a softer rhythm beneath the surface of our thoughts. Around the hippo, the river continues its gentle movements. Small circles of ripples widen, then fade. A dragonfly drifts past, barely touching the air, its wings shimmering like tiny mirrors for the sunlight. None of these details ask for attention, yet each one appears willingly, offering a moment of stillness shaped by nature's patient patterns. The hippo lifts its head just enough for its nostrils to meet the open air. A slow breath moves through it, then settles back into the water. There is no hurry, no goal, no sense of needing to be anything except present in this quiet moment. And perhaps that is where the question leads, not toward explanation, but toward presence. As you listen, you may notice your own breathing soften to match the river's calm. The day around you may feel a little quieter, as if the reeds themselves are inviting you to slow your thoughts, to let them drift at an easier pace. The question beneath the reeds is not meant to stir the mind. It is meant to cradle it, like warm water cradles the hippo's resting body. So we let the question stay with us, floating just below the surface of awareness. Not something to answer, only something to feel. The river moves gently onward, and we drift with it, ready to follow the hippo deeper into its slow, unhurried day. The landscape that surrounds our hippo begins to reveal itself as the morning light softens further. The river stretches calmly in both directions, curving between low banks shaped by years of gentle flow. The surface glimmers in muted shades, soft gold where light touches it, muted blue where shadows linger. Nothing here presses forward. Everything rests in a kind of relaxed balance. Tall reeds sway in unison, slow enough that each movement feels like part of a quiet breath shared by the whole river. A few birds glide low across the water, their wings barely dipping toward the calm surface. Even the air seems unhurried, moving with a softness that wraps gently around every shape in sight. It is a place where the world lets its edges blur, allowing everything to exist in smooth, unbroken lines. The hippo remains mostly submerged, a peaceful presence within this greater calm. Only its rounded ears, its eyes, and the top of its broad nose stay above the surface. From a distance, it appears almost like a smooth stone floating effortlessly, a part of the river rather than something separate from it. The water carries its shape as though it has always belonged there. This landscape holds stories whispered over many seasons. Rainy months bring rising water that spreads quietly through the floodplains. Dry seasons draw the river back into a narrower path, revealing stretches of pale mud where footprints from passing animals settle like soft impressions in memory. Through it all, the hippos remain here, drifting between water and air, between stillness and gentle motion. As we observe the scene, the details begin to gather around us like a soft blanket. The folding of distant hills, the muted hum of insects waking, the way the riverbank slopes gently toward the water in smooth, curved lines. Each element adds to the feeling that this place is not meant to rush anyone, not its animals, not its water, not us. This gentle overview prepares us for the journey ahead, inviting our thoughts to settle into the same rhythm that guides the hippo's day. We begin to sense that every shift in the landscape, no matter how subtle, supports a quiet harmony, a harmony shaped by softness, not speed. The hippo breathes again, a small movement sending out a slow ripple. It expands outward, then dissolves. Everything here appears and disappears with ease. And so, we enter this landscape with open attention, ready to follow the hippo as it guides us through a day shaped entirely by calm. Morning deepens gently across the river, and with it, the hippo begins the slow, natural shift from night's rest to day's quiet wakefulness. Yet even in transition, nothing resembles a beginning marked by effort. The day simply unfolds around the hippo, like a soft blanket being lifted by the smallest breeze. The water holds the hippo in a way that seems almost affectionate. Only a faint lift of its broad head suggests that the animal is becoming more aware of the light. Its eyes blink once, then rest again, half closed, as if savoring the comfort of moving gradually between states. Dawn often brings warmth to the river's surface, but the deeper water remains cool, creating gentle layers of temperature that wrap around the hippo like a slow embrace. Around the hippo, the landscape remains quiet. A few tiny waves meet the riverbank with soft, rhythmic sounds that echo the hippo's own steady breathing. The reeds nearby bend slightly, catching the colors of early light: pale gold, muted peach, soft green fading upward into blue. Every motion is small, slow, and entirely at ease. The hippo lifts its nostrils above water, taking in a long, easy breath. This moment is not a start in the way we might think of beginning a day. It is more like drifting from one gentle state to another, supported by the river's patient hold. This is how hippos greet the morning, not with alertness or decision, but with a quiet acceptance of the light that has returned to them. As we linger in this early part of the hippo's day, we begin to feel the softness of dawn extend toward us too. Thoughts settle into a slower pattern. Breathing deepens naturally. The mind relaxes into a space where stillness feels familiar and effortless. In watching the hippo rise into its morning, we are reminded that life does not always need sharp transitions. Sometimes the most peaceful beginnings are the ones that unfold slowly, without intention or urgency. The river glides gently past, carrying faint reflections of the hippo in the softening sky. The day has begun, but in a way that feels more like drifting than awakening. And the hippo continues to rest there, calm, ancient, and quietly aware, inviting us deeper into its slow journey. The hippo's body, immense and rounded, seems like it should press heavily into the world. Yet here in the river, it floats with an ease that feels almost dreamlike. The water lifts it without strain, supporting every contour as though shaped precisely for this purpose. In this moment, the hippo becomes nearly weightless, its great mass transformed into gentle buoyancy. Floating is a quiet art many creatures practice without thinking. The hippo drifts a few inches beneath the surface, balanced between depth and light. Its legs dangle loosely, moving only when the river itself nudges them. Sometimes a soft current passes beneath its belly, creating the faintest sway, like a cradle rocked by an invisible hand. Other times the water becomes still again, holding the hippo in place without requiring any effort at all. Sunlight touches the river in pale strands, gliding across the hippo's back. The gentle warmth never arrives suddenly. It spreads slowly, like a soft glow moving through calm water. If you watch closely, you might notice the hippo tilt ever so slightly, adjusting just enough to follow the river's slow motion. These subtle movements are not choices. They are simply responses to the peaceful guidance of the water. Even the physics behind this quiet floating carries a sense of calm. The water supports the hippo's body, not because the hippo demands it, but because the river and the animal have existed together for countless generations in a quiet partnership. The density of the hippo's body allows it to settle just beneath the surface, where it can rest for long stretches without the weight of the world pressing down. As we observe, the hippo's ears twitch gently. A small ripple moves outward, widening in slow circles before fading into the greater calm. Nothing is rushed, nothing is sharp. The hippo's floating becomes a kind of meditation, not a deliberate practice, but a natural state shaped by its environment. You may feel your own body beginning to soften as you imagine the sensation. The idea of being held so completely by something gentle. The reassurance of knowing you don't need to lift or push or adjust yourself to stay afloat. Just as the river carries the hippo, you can let the moment carry you too. The hippo remains there, drifting in near silence. Only the soft sound of water moving around its broad body breaks the quiet, and even that sound feels like part of the calm. Floating, in its simplest form, is letting go of heaviness, letting yourself be carried, and that is where we leave the hippo now, resting in water that supports it with unwavering ease. Beneath the surface of the river, a quieter world unfolds, dim, cool, and shaped by gentle vibrations rather than bright sounds. Hippos create soft underwater murmurs that drift through this space like distant hums. These sounds do not travel in sharp lines. They spread in smooth waves, passing through water with the ease of clouds drifting across a pale morning sky. The hippo releases a low, rounded vibration from deep within its chest. It is not a call meant to summon or alert. It is simply part of the way hippos exist together in water, an easy exchange, more like a shared presence than a message. The murmur travels outward in gentle pulses, touching reeds, stones, and the bodies of other hippos with a calm, steady rhythm. Underwater, the world feels softened at every edge. Colors turn muted and serene. Shapes drift in slow motion, and movement settles into a natural lull. The hippo glides just beneath the surface, its body suspended in the cool hush of this submerged realm. Each faint sound it produces blends effortlessly with the water, becoming something felt as much as heard. These murmurs create a sense of connection within the herd, though nothing about them seeks attention. They simply move through the river like small ripples of awareness, reminding each hippo that others are near. Even young hippos, learning the softness of these sounds for the first time, produce gentle hums that barely disturb the water's stillness. Sound behaves differently here, traveling farther and more smoothly than it does in the air. A quiet vibration can drift across surprising distances, weaving through open water and around submerged roots. This flow creates a slow conversation, woven not of words but of closeness, a calm reassurance that life moves gently all around them. As we listen to this underwater world, our own thoughts may begin to quiet. The mind becomes more attuned to the idea of communication that doesn't need clarity or structure, sound that exists simply to comfort. Even imagining these murmurs encourages a softening inside the body, as though the vibrations reach us through the narrative itself. The hippo remains calm beneath the surface, releasing another gentle hum. The sound grows for a moment, then dissolves into the cool water. Nothing presses forward. Nothing insists on being noticed. The river absorbs every murmur with patience, and the hippo drifts within this easy, resonant calm. A world where sound is soft and presence is enough. The hippo lives in a space where sunlight and water meet, a place balanced between brightness and cool shadow. The surface becomes a gentle boundary where two worlds blend, the airy warmth above and the muted stillness below. The hippo moves slowly along this quiet divide, allowing each world to touch it in its own peaceful way. Only the upper curve of its head rises above the water. 2 small ears, 2 calm eyes, and its wide nostrils resting just at the surface. Everything else remains cradled in the river's tender hold. Sunlight glides across the hippo's skin in a soft golden layer, warming the parts that meet the air. Meanwhile, the rest of its body rests in the coolness of deeper water, soothed by gentle currents. This balance allows the hippo to exist without choosing between comfort and awareness. It can see the changing colors of the sky, listen to the drifting sounds of birds, and still remain supported by the river's steady presence. Living between light and water offers a kind of serenity that feels both grounded and buoyant. When the hippo blinks, the movement is slow and unhurried. A faint sparkle appears on the surface as tiny droplets cling to its eyelashes. Above the water, the air carries the soft scent of morning reeds. Beneath the water, the world turns muted and smooth, shaped mostly by touch and vibration. The hippo does not shift quickly between these realms. It rests within both at once, allowing each to inform its experience in gentle ways. Even its vision adapts to this balanced world. Hippos see well both in water and in the dimness of twilight. Their eyes sit high on their heads, letting them stay mostly submerged while remaining aware of the horizon. This quiet awareness blends seamlessly with the comfort of their partially hidden bodies. As we watch, a faint breeze moves across the river, creating a mosaic of soft ripples. Each ripple passes over the hippo in a slow wave, catching a shimmer of light before fading. Nothing here breaks the calm. Everything blends into a gentle continuum of movement and stillness. You may find your own thoughts drifting between awareness and rest, just as the hippo drifts between light and water. This in-between space encourages a softness in the mind, a feeling of being held without needing to fully choose waking or sleeping. The hippo breathes quietly, allowing the river and the sky to meet upon its back. A peaceful life lived in the border between 2 calm worlds. The hippos share the river in a gentle way, forming groups that move with quiet familiarity. These herds do not gather with purpose or urgency. They assemble naturally, drawn to the same cool waters, the same shaded bends, the same stretches of soft riverbed. Their togetherness creates an atmosphere of peaceful companionship. Each hippo finds a comfortable place among the others. Some drift closer to the bank, where reeds offer light shade. Others rest in deeper sections of the river, letting the coolness wrap around them like an easy blanket. Their positions shift slightly throughout the day, not to organize themselves, but simply to follow comfort wherever it appears. Occasionally, 2 hippos drift near each other, their bodies almost touching. One might slowly raise its head, letting a puff of warm air rise from its nostrils. Another might tilt slightly, sending a soft ripple outward. These movements create a quiet conversation made not of words, but of presence, a reminder that they share this peaceful space together. Young hippos stay close to their mothers, often resting their small bodies against the warmth of a larger one. There is no sharp movement, no sudden rush. The calves float gently, sometimes nudging against the older hippo's side as if drawn to the steady rhythm of her breathing. Their closeness forms a soothing pattern, a kind of natural lullaby made of touch and quiet comfort. The herd's slow rituals continue as the sun rises higher in the sky. A few hippos sink beneath the surface for a brief moment, then rise again in a serene, unhurried rhythm. Others twitch their ears to flick away the soft tickle of water droplets. A thin mist forms above the river, giving every outline a blurred, dreamlike quality. Being part of a herd gives the hippo a quiet sense of belonging. There is no pressure within these groups, no urgency to stay in a certain place. Instead, the river creates the structure. Its gentle currents guide where the hippos drift, how they settle, and how they share space with one another. Watching them, you may feel a sense of being welcomed into a peaceful gathering. A group that does not ask anything of you, that simply accepts your presence the way the river accepts every ripple. These slow rituals encourage the mind to relax, reminding us that calmness can be shared without words. The hippos breathe softly, floating in a loose circle shaped only by comfort. A community built on stillness, warmth, and quiet companionship. As the sun rises higher, the river brightens into soft glimmers of light that dance gently across the surface. The warmth spreads slowly, never arriving sharply. The hippos sense this shift in temperature and sink a little deeper into the water's cool embrace. These are the shade-seeking hours, long stretches of calm when the river becomes a place of perfect ease. The hippo drifts toward a slightly deeper spot, guided not by decision, but by the natural gradient of comfort. Here, the water holds a cooler layer, soothing the hippo's skin and offering relief from the soft warmth of the sun above. Its eyes blink slowly in the brightening light, then relax again as the river protects most of its body from heat. Around the riverbank, taller reeds cast delicate shadows across the water. The shadows move gently, following the slow progression of the sun. These shifting outlines create a kind of quiet pattern that repeats each day, familiar, predictable, and deeply calming. The hippo floats within these shapes, letting them fall softly across its back before drifting into new patches of shade. Occasionally, a faint breeze glides over the river, rippling the surface into a smooth mosaic of reflected trees and sky. The hippo does not respond with any noticeable shift. The breeze is part of the shade-seeking hours too, another soft sign of the day settling into its warmer rhythm. The hippo dips its head beneath the surface for a brief moment, then rises again with gentle slowness. Water beads across its skin and rolls downward, leaving shimmering trails that catch the sunlight. Nothing about this movement disturbs the calm. It blends seamlessly into the quiet routine of the afternoon. Other hippos join nearby, drifting into their own comfortable positions. The group spreads naturally, forming a loose constellation across the river. Each animal finds a depth, a temperature, a fold of water that suits it. These shared hours carry a sense of mutual rest, a collective silence that feels almost like a river-sized exhale. You may find your own thoughts softening as you imagine this warm, restful scene. The shade-seeking hours encourage a slowing of the mind, a gentle settling into familiarity. The hippo offers a kind of presence that needs no explanation, only the understanding that rest is a natural part of the day's quiet arc. The river glimmers softly. The shade drifts across the water in peaceful patterns, and the hippo floats gently, held by the coolness of the deep. The river holds many quiet pathways, subtle channels shaped slowly through seasons of gentle flow. The hippo follows these drift paths almost without thinking, moving through the water, in a way that feels more like gliding than traveling. Each path carries the calm memory of countless days lived at the river's pace. A drift path does not rush. It curves softly, rising and falling with the contours of the riverbed. As the hippo floats along one of these familiar routes, the water guides its movement with effortless grace. There is no need to adjust direction or pace. The current provides all the guidance needed, nudging the hippo with a tender, almost imperceptible push. The animal's body remains mostly still. Its legs hang relaxed beneath it, occasionally brushing against a gentle current. This movement, so small it is barely visible, keeps the hippo aligned within the river's quiet pathways. Even from above the surface, the drift is subtle, more a soft shift of position than a journey through space. Along the path, the river widens in some places, narrows in others. Shallow stretches create patches of warm light where the sun touches the riverbed. Deeper sections create cooler pools where the water darkens into shades of soft blue and muted green. The hippo drifts through these variations smoothly, letting the river choose which sensations come next. Every so often, the hippo lifts its head just a little higher, letting the breeze meet its face. The air moves gently along its skin, creating a momentary contrast with the cool water below. This balance, warmth above, coolness below, brings a peaceful sense of harmony. Other hippos drift along nearby paths, their movements equally unhurried. No two paths are identical, yet all follow the same gentle logic of the river. The drift becomes a shared experience, a quiet dance shaped not by intention, but by the soft persistence of water flowing through ancient channels. For the listener, imagining these drift paths brings its own calm. The idea of being carried effortlessly, of following a route that requires no planning or direction, eases the mind into a state of stillness. Thoughts begin to drift too, slipping into softer shapes. The hippo continues along its gentle path, leaving only faint ripples behind. These ripples expand outward, then fade seamlessly into the river's broader calm. Nothing remains of the passage except the feeling of having moved softly through the world, guided, supported, and completely unhurried. Beneath the gentle drift of the river, the hippo carries a quiet strength that moves without effort. It is not a strength expressed in force or motion, but in the steady presence of a creature completely at ease within its world. The hippo rests in the water as though shaped by it, broad, calm, and settled into a peaceful weight that the river holds with unwavering patience. When the hippo shifts slightly, the movement is almost imperceptible. A gentle roll of its shoulder, a soft sway of its body, and the water rearranges itself to cradle the new shape. Even this small adjustment sends a faint ripple across the surface, expanding in delicate circles before dissolving into stillness. The strength within the hippo lies not in what it does, but in the calmness it maintains while doing so little. Its thick skin glows softly under the morning light, carrying a warm sheen where sunlight meets water. Beneath that skin lies a body built for durability, for living at the slow pace of the river's daily flow. The hippo's strength is stable, grounded, yet never heavy. It seems to settle into the water like a natural extension of the landscape, as if the river and the hippo understand each other's rhythms. Every part of the animal reflects this quiet resilience. Its wide jaw rests easily at the surface. Its rounded ears twitch occasionally, not an alarm, but in a soft, habitual motion that blends seamlessly into the water's calming sounds. Even its breathing feels stable and strong, rising and falling in a gentle rhythm that mirrors the slow drift of the river. This quiet strength carries a sense of tranquility that reaches beyond the hippo itself. Observing it invites a subtle shift within us, softening the pace of our own thoughts. There is no need to evaluate or interpret. The strength beneath the surface is not something to be understood. It is simply something to feel. In this stillness, we notice how strength can exist without sharp edges, without intensity, without urgency. It can settle like a stone held safely in soft sand, steady yet peaceful, just as the hippo's presence shapes the river around it. This calm understanding begins to shape the space within us, easing any tension we might have carried into this moment. The hippo remains there, partly submerged, partly warmed by the sun, strong, serene, and deeply at rest, a reminder that strength can be soft, and softness can be strong. Along the river's edge, stretches of smooth, pale mud glisten beneath the soft shimmer of rising light. When the hippo occasionally steps onto the bank, its feet sink gently into this cool, yielding surface. Each slow step leaves behind a broad impression, rounded, deep, and filled with the quiet weight of a creature moving without haste. The mud receives these footsteps effortlessly. There is no resistance, only a soft reshaping that occurs naturally under the hippo's steady presence. The footprints appear like calm signatures left along the shore, each one holding a moment of contact between earth and animal. As the hippo continues forward, the impressions settle slightly, filling with a thin layer of water that reflects the sky in muted tones. The act of walking across the soft ground is unhurried. The hippo's legs rise and fall with leisurely grace, creating a rhythm as peaceful as the river's own slow movement. Each step becomes part of a gentle pattern, forming a quiet trail that drifts along the bank. This trail is not meant to lead anywhere specific. It is simply a path shaped by where comfort guides the hippo. Nearby reeds sway delicately, brushing against the mud with their thin, green tips. Tiny insects land briefly on the damp surface, creating small ripples where moisture gathers. All these details blend seamlessly into the stillness of the moment, as though the landscape is holding its breath in soft appreciation of the hippo's visit. With each step, the hippo presses a little deeper into the mud, yet the ground rises again as the foot lifts, slowly smoothing itself back toward its original state. A few impressions linger, but even those will eventually fade, softened by breeze, warmed by sunlight, or gently filled by the river's next quiet swell. Nothing in this place holds on tightly. Everything yields with grace. Imagining these footsteps can bring a similar softness into the mind. There is something calming about the idea of leaving gentle impressions that the world receives without strain. The hippo's slow walk reminds us that movement does not need to impose itself. It can be light, natural, temporary. The hippo pauses for a moment, settling its weight comfortably before easing back toward the cool water. The mud glows faintly where its footprints rest, each one a memory of a quiet passage across the riverbank. Then the river welcomes the hippo back, and the footprints remain, calm reminders of a peaceful interaction between land and gentle giant. The river's surface captures even the smallest touch, turning gentle movements into widening circles that drift toward the quiet banks. When the hippo shifts slightly in the water, a ripple begins at the edge of its body and travels outward in slow, graceful waves. These ripples never rush. They glide, expand, and soften as they move through the calm expanse of the river. Each ripple is a delicate reminder of how the hippo interacts with its surroundings without effort. The animal does not create them intentionally. They arise naturally from its presence, from the faint lift of its head, the subtle turn of its shoulder, the soft drift of its rounded back beneath the surface. Even stillness produces movement here, though movement so gentle it seems woven from the river's breath. As the ripples widen, they become lighter. The water smooths over their edges, turning each wave into a faint shimmer that blends effortlessly into the broader stillness. Sometimes the ripples reach the riverbank, brushing against the mud with tender strokes. Other times they fade before reaching anything at all, dissolving quietly into the water's calm. The river reflects the sky in soft hues of pale blue and muted gold. The ripples distort these reflections for a moment, creating patterns that resemble shifting clouds. This momentary transformation feels peaceful, like watching a dream rearrange itself before settling into a new shape. Nearby, another hippo rests in its own quiet space. The ripples from one body drift toward the other, gently touching its broad side. The second hippo does not react. The touch is subtle, familiar, and part of the river's shared language. These overlapping ripples create a soft conversation between the animals, a calm connection shaped entirely by water. As you imagine these slow waves moving outward, your own thoughts may begin to soften. Ripples remind us that even the smallest presence creates gentle influence, not forceful, not intrusive, just a quiet expansion of being. And like the ripples, our thoughts can drift outward as well, becoming lighter with each moment. The hippo remains mostly still, allowing the water to continue shaping gentle patterns around its body. Another small movement sends a new set of ripples across the surface. They spread slowly, gracefully, and with complete ease. In this calm exchange between river and hippo, there is no urgency, only the quiet beauty of motion born from stillness, ripples made without intention, carrying softness through the world. Along the river's gentle curves, there are places where the bank slopes softly into the water, forming shallow ledges of cool mud and smooth sand. These resting spots become familiar havens for the hippos, quiet patches where the day offers a blend of shade, comfort, and the steady sounds of the drifting river. One such resting spot lies beneath a loosely spreading acacia tree. Its branches stretch outward in easy arcs, casting dappled shadows across the ground. The light filters through the leaves in soft, moving patterns, creating a blanket of shifting shapes that settle over the resting hippos. Each patch of shade feels like a gentle reprieve from the warm glow of the sun. As the hippo approaches this comfortable place, the mud yields beneath its weight with calm acceptance. The hippo settles slowly, lowering itself until its belly meets the cool ground. A faint sigh seems to move through its body. Nothing dramatic, just a subtle easing as it rests. Its skin glistens faintly where droplets from the river still cling, catching bits of sunlight as they slide downward. The air near the riverbank carries the scent of warm grass, woody bark, and the faint sweetness of flowering plants. A few birds perch quietly on the tree above, shifting only enough to maintain their balance. Their presence adds a sense of gentle companionship, yet they make no sound that disturbs the stillness. Everything here seems to move in harmony with rest. The hippo closes its eyes halfway, not in sleep, but in a calm pause. The warmth of the sun touches its upper body, while the shaded earth cools its underside, creating a balanced sensation that eases the animal into deeper comfort. Around it, the river continues its peaceful flow, occasionally touching the bank with a soft, rhythmic sound. Other hippos may join the resting spot, finding their own comfortable spaces nearby. They settle into the mud with similar slowness, creating a loose, serene gathering beneath the gently swaying branches. The sight of them resting side by side brings a feeling of companionship, yet there is no pressure in their closeness, only a shared appreciation for stillness. For the listener, imagining such a resting spot invites a sense of grounding, a place where the earth supports you, the shade protects you, and the river serenades you with its calm. The hippo remains unmoving, held by comfort, embraced by quiet. In this gentle haven, the day stretches softly onward, guided only by ease. When the day eases into evening, the warm tones of the landscape gradually deepen into soft blues and muted purples. A gentle coolness settles over the river, and the hippo begins to drift toward the grassy banks. There is no rush in this transition. The shift from water to land unfolds with the same unhurried grace that shapes every part of its day. By the time starlight begins to gather overhead, the air feels calm and expansive. The river reflects the early stars in shimmering fragments, each one trembling slightly with the movement of the water. The hippo steps onto the bank with quiet, deliberate motions. Its feet meet the earth softly, pressing gentle impressions into the cool ground. Under starlight, the world grows hushed. Grasses sway with slow elegance, their blades catching silver hints of the night sky. The hippo lowers its head to graze, moving through the tall grass with unhurried ease. Each mouthful is taken gently, the soft sound blending seamlessly into the quiet of the open night. There is a peaceful rhythm to this nighttime browsing. Step, breathe, graze. Step, breathe, graze. The pattern unfolds without variation, encouraging the mind to settle alongside the animal's steady presence. Even the faint crunch of grass feels soothing, softened by the stillness that surrounds it. The air carries a mild sweetness, the scent of fresh growth mingling with the earth's cool breath. Fireflies drift lazily in the distance, their small glows appearing and disappearing like tiny stars learning to flicker. In the distance, other hippos move with similar slowness, their shapes blending into the shadows of the tall grass. Their presence creates a sense of quiet companionship, though each animal follows its own peaceful route. As the hippo grazes, the starlight gathers more clearly across its back. The gentle highlights trace the curves of its body, giving it a soft glow that feels almost dreamlike. In this serene light, even the hippo's size takes on a tender quality, vast, steady, and deeply at peace. The world at night seems to exhale around the hippo. Nothing seeks attention. Nothing disturbs the quiet. The animal continues its slow, rhythmic browsing, moving deeper into the grassland with the calm assurance of one who knows the land intimately. For the listener, This nighttime scene offers a space of stillness and gentle motion. It invites a softening of thought, a deepening of breath, and an easy surrender to the peaceful rhythm of the evening. The stars shine steadily above. The grasses sway in silence, and the hippo grazes calmly beneath their watchful glow. As the hippo moves slowly back toward the river, faint lines form behind it, soft trails drawn upon the water's surface. These trails do not rush or sparkle sharply. They drift in long, gentle strokes, spreading across the river like quiet brushwork painted by an unseen hand. Each trail widens gradually, becoming more delicate as the water resumes its natural stillness. The hippo slides into the water with unhurried ease, allowing the cool surface to rise steadily along its body. The movement creates a barely perceptible swell, a soft wave that glides outward without disturbing anything around it. As soon as the hippo settles into its comfortable depth, the water smooths again, leaving only the faint memory of its passage. These trails remain visible for a little while, shimmering beneath the soft light of night or the warm glow of dawn. They weave intricate patterns that shift with every breeze. Sometimes they gather around reeds, creating delicate rings that cling to the green stalks. Other times they stretch into the open river, merging with wider ripples until they fade entirely. The beauty of these water trails lies in their temporary nature. They appear, linger gently, and dissolve without a trace. They never force attention. They simply exist long enough to be noticed by anyone who pauses to watch. In this way, they reflect the hippo's own quiet approach to life, present, calm, and softly influential. As the hippo drifts forward, more trails follow. Each one forms a slow-moving ribbon behind its broad back. The ribbons overlap and separate, drifting into their own shapes. When the hippo dips beneath the surface, the trails continue for a moment, then gradually close into smooth water. The river receives every movement with grace. It accepts the trails without resistance and releases them with equal ease. Nothing in this exchange feels hurried. The hippo's water paths unfold at the same gentle pace that governs its whole day. Imagining these trails brings a soothing sensation to the mind. There is something comforting in watching a disturbance soften itself, return to stillness, and allow calm to reform. Even thoughts can follow this pattern, rising gently, drifting outward, and settling into quieter shapes. The hippo remains at ease, floating where the water feels familiar. Behind it, the last traces of its passage linger softly, then disappear. All that remains is the river, quiet and embracing, ready to shape the next gentle trail. Beneath the hippo's calm body, the river holds a network of quiet currents, soft streams of movement that travel along the riverbed in slow, winding patterns. These currents are gentle guides, shaping the contours of sand and silt with patient, rhythmic motions. The hippo feels them not as force, but as subtle shifts of pressure brushing lightly against its feet. When the hippo drifts into deeper water, its feet no longer touch the riverbed, yet the currents continue to shape the environment around it. They swirl softly beneath its belly, creating a faint lift that feels almost like a tender cushion. The hippo responds naturally, allowing its body to follow these invisible paths with serene acceptance. The currents never move in straight lines. They twist and turn, meandering around stones, reeds, and submerged roots. Their movement is so soft that the sand beneath them shifts only a little at a time, grains rearranging themselves in slow, quiet patterns. Over days and weeks, these modest adjustments create new resting spots, gentle slopes, and smooth hollows where hippos often drift to find comfort. Sometimes the hippo lowers itself toward the riverbed, letting its feet meet the cool, shifting ground. The sand gives slightly, creating a soft cradle for each foot. The tiny movements of water around the animal's legs feel like delicate brushes, gently guiding the hippo into a position of ease. There is no decision here, only natural response. Plants along the riverbed sway lightly with the passing currents. Their leaves move in slow, steady arcs, creating a peaceful rhythm in the dim underwater light. Small fish glide nearby, drifting effortlessly along the same pathways. Even they seem to know these gentle routes by instinct, following the soft pull of water without urgency. Hidden currents are a reminder that not all movement needs to be seen to be felt. Much like thoughts that travel quietly beneath the surface of the mind, these subtle flows shape the hippo's world with calm persistence. They guide without pushing. They move without hurry. As you imagine these soft, underwater movements, you may notice your own inner pace beginning to slow. The idea of being supported by something subtle, gentle, and steady can bring a sense of grounding and ease. The hippo floats peacefully above the shifting sands, its body aligned with the river's quiet energy. Beneath it, the hidden currents continue their patient work, softening, shaping, guiding. A world of calm beneath calm. The hippo's skin, thick and resilient, carries secrets shaped by millions of years of gentle adaptation. At first glance, it appears smooth and sturdy, a natural shield designed to hold warmth and comfort. But when sunlight rests on the hippo's body, a faint sheen begins to appear, soft, rosy, and almost luminous. This glow comes from a special substance the hippo produces, a natural moisturizer that glides over its skin in a thin, protective layer. It is neither sticky nor heavy. Instead, it spreads like a soft mist, creating a gentle barrier that helps the animal stay comfortable beneath the warm African sun. The hippo does not need to apply it consciously. Its body releases the substance gradually, allowing it to flow with quiet consistency. As the hippo rests in the water, the pinkish shimmer blends with the blues and greens of the river, creating a subtle mosaic of colors. The coating cools underwater and warms under the sun, helping the hippo maintain a comfortable balance throughout the day. This delicate cycle unfolds without effort, forming a natural rhythm as soothing as the river's lull. Water slides off the hippo's skin in smooth streams, carrying droplets that sparkle briefly before merging with the river. These droplets trace gentle paths, curving along the animal's contours before falling away. The skin underneath remains supple and calm, protected by the soft shine that nature has provided. When the hippo lifts its head from the water, its skin catches the light in a way that makes the animal appear almost sculpted from warm stone. The smoothness reflects decades of peaceful living at the river's pace. Even small creases and folds seem to hold stories of rest, moments spent floating, drifting, basking. This delicate skin also responds to the surrounding world with subtle sensitivity. A light breeze cools it, gentle currents soothe it. Fine grains of sand from the riverbed settle lightly before being washed away again. Everything touches the hippo's skin softly, and the skin accepts these touches with serene resilience. Imagining this texture, the smoothness, the quiet warmth, the faint glow, invites a sense of comfort. The hippo carries its protection naturally, without trying or adjusting. Its skin cares for it in silence, offering ease through every hour of the day. As the hippo continues to rest, the river glides along its sides, renewing the calm sheen with each gentle wave, a soft harmony of nature caring for itself quietly and beautifully. The marshlands surrounding the river hold a spacious calm where sound moves in gentle patterns across open water and tall grasses. When a hippo releases a soft exhale or a low, rounded call, the sound travels outward in smooth waves. These echoes glide through the marsh, touching reeds, drifting across shallow pools, and fading gradually into the warm air. The hippo's calls are never sharp. They rise slowly, shaped by the broad chest and deep throat of the animal. The resulting sound feels round and mellow, like a distant hum settling over the landscape. Other hippos may respond in similar tones, but even their responses carry the same softness, nothing hurried, nothing demanding. As the echoes move, they weave around clusters of tall grass, causing delicate vibrations that tremble along slender stalks. These movements resemble a quiet ripple on land, as though the marsh itself is listening. Birds perched nearby remain calm, shifting only slightly as the sound passes. The marsh welcomes every tone, blending it into the wider symphony of gentle rustling and soft water movements. Sometimes the echoes linger longer than expected, caught in the embrace of thicker vegetation. They bounce softly between the reeds, creating a layered whisper that feels both close and distant. Other times, they drift freely into open space, dissolving into the warm horizon with peaceful ease. The hippo's calls are not meant to communicate urgency. They are simply part of the animal's natural rhythm, a way of expressing presence, comfort, and quiet connection to others in the herd. Even when no response comes, the echo feels complete, as though the marsh itself has acknowledged the sound. Listening to these echoes invites a sense of spaciousness within the mind. The idea of a sound traveling gently across the landscape, without sharp direction or purpose, helps thoughts loosen and extend softly. Each echo becomes a reminder that communication does not always need clarity or intention. Sometimes it simply needs room to drift. The hippo remains calm in the shallow water, its body partially shaded by leaning grasses. Another soft breath escapes its nostrils, sending a new wave of sound across the marsh. The echoes unfold again, serene and steady. They continue until they fade naturally, leaving the marsh in its familiar stillness, warm, open, and completely at ease. In the warm shallows of the river, many creatures gather around the hippo, forming a quiet community of gentle interactions. The water here is calm and sunlit, making it a peaceful space where different species drift in easy harmony. Each one finds its place without competition, carried by the natural rhythm of the river. Small fish swim near the hippo's feet, weaving through the clear water in slow, fluid patterns. They move with delicate grace, occasionally pausing beneath the shade of the hippo's broad body. Here the water is cooler, and the currents soften, creating a comfortable shelter. The fish explore these spaces without disturbing the hippo, their tiny movements blending seamlessly into the calm surroundings. Above the surface, A heron stands nearby on slender legs, its presence steady and elegant. The bird watches the water with quiet patience, occasionally dipping its beak into the shallows to explore the ripples. Its movements are smooth and unhurried, complementing the hippo's serene posture. The two creatures share the same stretch of river without need for acknowledgement, each simply existing in the other's gentle presence. An oxpecker sometimes rests on the hippo's back, settling into the warm surface with light feet. The bird moves softly, barely noticeable to the hippo, as it explores the smooth terrain. Its small weight creates a subtle sense of companionship, a quiet connection between land and water dwellers. Even when the bird lifts its wings to adjust its balance, the motion remains tender and calming. These shared moments illustrate the peaceful cooperation of the natural world. Nothing here seeks dominance or urgency. Instead, every creature aligns with the slow, inviting pace of the river. Their interactions feel like a soft choreography, each movement blending naturally into the next. Even the river contributes to this gentle companionship. It flows in steady currents, guiding the fish, swaying the reeds, and lifting the hippo in gentle rhythm. The shallows become a sanctuary where life unfolds without tension, shaped by ease rather than intention. Imagining these companions of the shallows brings a warm sense of belonging. The scene encourages the mind to relax into its surroundings, to feel supported by the quiet presence of others, and to trust in the calm flow of the moment. The hippo remains unbothered, floating softly as sunlight touches its skin. Around it, the heron, the fish, and the oxpecker share the space with peaceful acceptance, a small, quiet community held together by nothing more than the river's gentle invitation to rest. In the gentle heart of the river, the hippo follows a quiet pattern that repeats through the day and night, a slow rhythm of submerging beneath the water and rising again for breath. This pattern unfolds with such softness that it becomes part of the river's own lullaby, a steady pulse woven into the calm landscape. The hippo begins by easing its head downward, allowing the water to glide smoothly over its eyes, ears, and nostrils. There is no splash, no sudden motion. The descent feels more like settling than sinking, as though the river is simply welcoming the hippo into deeper comfort. Once beneath the surface, the animal becomes a peaceful shape moving through muted currents, its large body held gently by the cool embrace of the water. After a short while, never rushed, never urgent, the hippo rises again. Its broad nostrils break the surface first, creating a soft ripple that spreads outward in delicate rings. Then its eyes appear, blinking slowly in the warm light. The entire movement resembles the quiet blooming of a water lily, unfolding without effort. This rhythm repeats naturally, guided by nothing more than the hippo's relaxed need for air. The intervals are long and unhurried, giving the animal ample time to rest in the soothing dimness below. Each resurfacing carries the same serene grace, as if the hippo is greeting the world above with the gentlest nod. From a distance, the pattern feels hypnotic, down into the cool, silent depths, up to the warm, glowing air. The cycle continues with a consistency that brings a sense of calm to anyone watching. The river accepts each movement, smoothing itself after every ripple, returning to stillness with quiet patience. Other hippos share this rhythm, though each follows its own gentle timing. Their rises and descents create a soft choreography across the water, a collection of slowly appearing shapes, then smooth returns to the depths. The effect is soothing, like watching lanterns drift on a calm lake, rising and sinking in peaceful intervals. The rhythm of submerging and rising reflects a way of being that requires no intention. It simply happens, and the river supports every moment of it. For the listener, imagining this pattern can bring a similar ease. Breaths may lengthen, thoughts may soften, and the body may settle into its own quieter rhythm. The hippo continues its gentle cycle, always at peace between the worlds of air and water, each rise a soft greeting, each descent a tender return. In the river's serene environment, even moments of difference unfold with calm subtlety. The hippos share space naturally, and although their bodies are large and their presence unmistakable, the interactions between them feel softened by the water's steady influence. What might be considered conflict in other worlds becomes here only a gentle shifting of space and energy. When two hippos drift near one another, their movements adjust in slow, fluid motions. One might open its wide mouth, not in aggression, but as a relaxed gesture shaped by instinct. The display appears broad and impressive, yet in this quiet setting, it carries no sharp tension. It resembles more a morning yawn than anything opposing or alarming. The water absorbs every motion, transforming even the broadest gestures into gentle waves. A hippo may lift its head slightly higher, and another may respond by drifting a little to the left or right. The adjustment happens without urgency, guided by the calm currents and the natural desire for comfortable distance. Occasionally, a gentle puff of air escapes a hippo's nostrils, rising in a soft plume. The sound spreads across the river with a mellow tone, blending into the ambient quiet. These small exchanges become part of the herd's language, a communication rooted in presence rather than conflict. Nearby reeds sway in the river's subtle waves, echoing the hippo's slow adjustments. Birds perched on branches continue their still watch, unfazed by the animal's interactions. Everything around the river responds to movement with grace, never sharpness. The environment itself encourages calm resolution. These moments reflect the essence of life along the river. Even when differences arise, they soften into the larger rhythm. The water slows every shift, the air quiets every sound, and the landscape supports every gesture in its own peaceful way. For the listener, imagining these soft interactions brings a sense of reassurance. It becomes clear that not every change requires intensity. Not every communication carries weight. Even differences can ripple gently, dissolve quietly, and settle into harmonious stillness. In the river's calm embrace, the hippos find their balance without force. A gentle adjustment here, a soft gesture there. And then everything returns to quiet once more. As the day stretches toward evening, the light begins to soften. The sun drifts lower in the sky, falling into a gentle angle that paints the landscape in warm, muted gold. When it slips behind the distant hills, the river enters one of its most tranquil moments, a transition touched by long shadows and quiet warmth. The water reflects this softening with delicate ripples of color. Shades of amber, rose, and pale lavender merge and fade across the surface, creating a slow-moving tapestry that shifts with each breath of wind. The hippo remains partially submerged, its body absorbing the river's gentle coolness while its back glows in the warm, fading light. As the sun lowers, the landscape grows hushed. Birds drift toward their resting places, their wings moving in slow, almost silent arcs. Insects soften their humming, blending into a low murmur that feels more like a distant memory than a present sound. The reeds along the banks sway in a measured rhythm, touched by the last light of day. The hippo takes a slow breath, lifting its nostrils above the water. The warm air fills its lungs, then releases in a calm exhale that sends a gentle ripple outward. This ripple widens in smooth circles, reflecting the colors of the dimming sky. Even the movement of the water seems to respect the quiet unfolding of dusk. The hills behind the river glow softly as the sun disappears from view. Their silhouettes deepen, becoming calm outlines that cradle the horizon. Shadows lengthen across the water, stretching toward the hippo in slow, graceful lines. The world feels spacious, as if time itself has expanded to allow for this peaceful transition. Twilight settles gradually, replacing warm tones with hues of blue and soft violet. The hippo continues its quiet floating, unaffected by the shift. Night does not arrive suddenly here. It unfurls gently, like a soft cloth laid across the landscape. The river welcomes this change with smooth acceptance. For the listener, dusk offers a moment of deep exhale. The day's brightness softens, the edges of the world blur, and the river invites rest. The hippo becomes a calm silhouette in the water, anchored and serene. The sun slips fully behind the hills. The sky cools into evening, and the river embraces the quiet. Water remembers in ways we cannot see. Its pathways curve according to ancient landscapes. Its currents follow patterns shaped long before the present moment. As the river moves around the hippo, it carries with it the subtle memory of seasons, storms, and the quiet passage of countless days. The riverbed beneath the hippo tells its own story. Over time, soft currents have carved gentle grooves into the sand, forming pathways that the hippos instinctively follow. These pathways feel familiar, not because the animals recognize them consciously, but because the water has shaped them with patient consistency. When the hippo drifts into a particular stretch of the river, it seems to fit naturally into these subtle channels, as though guided by a quiet history flowing beneath its feet. The water glides around its body with ease, as if remembering the shapes of previous hippos that have floated along the same route. Nothing about this guidance feels deliberate. It is simply the nature of water to hold and release memories through movement. The reeds along the banks respond similarly. Their roots anchor into soil shaped by years of water's touch. Their swaying movements reflect a long partnership with the currents. Even the small pools that form during rainy seasons carry the memory of past floods, returning to the same places year after year with gentle certainty. The hippo becomes part of this memory each time it drifts. Its presence leaves faint impressions, soft ripples, slight shifts in sand, delicate disturbances that the river absorbs and reshapes. These traces do not remain as fixed marks. They dissolve into the river's wider rhythm, becoming part of its ongoing story. As you imagine this, you may sense the calm reassurance of belonging to something continuous. Water holds memory not as weight, but as flow. It allows each moment to pass, shaping the next with gentle influence. This kind of memory feels comforting, never heavy, always moving, always dissolving into something new and peaceful. The hippo settles deeper into the familiar path, guided by quiet currents shaped long before its arrival. The river, in turn, welcomes the hippo as part of its unfolding memory. Water remembers gently, and everything within it moves with that soft remembrance. The river and its surrounding wetlands form a quiet ecosystem where intelligence is expressed not through rapid activity, but through calm coordination. Every movement, every shift, every cycle unfolds with a soft purpose that requires no urgency. The hippo is only one part of this serene network, yet its presence contributes to the ecosystem's thoughtful balance. As the hippo drifts in the water, its movements stir tiny particles from the riverbed. These particles rise slowly and settle again, nourishing plants and creating small pockets of food for fish. Nothing in this process is forceful. It happens naturally, shaped by the gentle motions of a resting animal. Nearby plants respond in their own slow way. Reeds absorb nutrients carried by the water, their leaves stretching upward with unhurried growth. They offer shade for fish, shelter for insects, and gentle perches for birds. Every contribution is subtle, yet essential. Birds near the river play their part with quiet precision. A heron might glide low across the water, its wings creating a soft drift of air that barely disturbs the surface. When it steps into the shallows, its slender legs move with deliberate calm, blending seamlessly into the environment's peaceful rhythm. Even the smallest organisms contribute to this intelligence. Microscopic life spreads gently through the water, cycling nutrients from one form to another. There is no rush, no competition, only the steady fulfillment of a role that supports the larger whole. The hippo participates simply by being present. Its calm presence shapes the river's flow, influences plant growth, and provides a comforting stability for the animals that share the water. The ecosystem responds to the hippo's movements with quiet adjustments, each one reinforcing a delicate harmony. Imagining this interconnected stillness can bring a deep sense of reassurance. Nature often functions most wisely when it moves slowly. Its intelligence unfolds in soft sequences, rivers shaping land, plants shaping air, animals shaping each other's comfort. Nothing needs to push, nothing needs to hurry. The hippo closes its eyes briefly, resting in the river's cool depth. Around it, the ecosystem continues its quiet work, each element contributing gently to the whole. A calm intelligence expressed through ease, a world thinking softly. In the gentle life of the hippo, adaptation unfolds not through struggle, but through quiet poetry. The hippo's body, shaped by millions of years beside calm rivers and slow-moving waters, tells a story of peaceful evolution, one where change occurs softly, naturally, and without haste. The hippo's rounded form allows it to sink comfortably into the river, its weight balanced perfectly by the buoyant embrace of water. Its eyes, ears, and nostrils rest high upon its head, letting it remain mostly submerged while still sensing the world above. This arrangement feels less like design and more like a tender understanding between animal and environment. The skin, thick yet sensitive, responds to sunlight by releasing a gentle sheen that protects and cools. The legs, short and sturdy, move gracefully through shallow water, creating minimal disturbance as the hippo drifts from one calm spot to another. Each feature fits seamlessly into a life of floating, resting, and slow grazing. Nothing sharp, nothing hurried. Even the hippo's habits speak in poetic rhythms. It chooses the cool hours of night for quiet browsing, when the air feels soft and the grasses shimmer beneath starlight. During the day, it settles into the water, letting the river support its body with loving steadiness. Everything about the hippo's existence aligns with comfort, balance, and ease. Adaptation in this world is not dramatic. It is patient. It is peaceful. It emerges from the landscape the same way reeds grow, slowly, steadily, reaching toward whatever light or shadow brings the most gentle harmony. As we observe the hippo, we begin to recognize this soft poetry. We see how each adaptation is a quiet dialogue with the environment, a dialogue that says, "Let us move together, not in opposition, but in shared calm." This way of being invites the listener to consider adaptation not as effort, but as alignment, a gentle attunement to what brings rest and ease. The hippo breathes deeply, releasing a soft exhale that ripples across the river's surface. The sound is subtle, yet it carries the story of its ancient, unhurried evolution. A story written not in leaps, but in steady, peaceful steps. Adaptation becomes less about survival and more about comfort, about finding a shape, a rhythm, a way of living that nurtures calm. A quiet poetry whispered through the body of a gentle giant. The river's appearance changes with the seasons, yet the transitions unfold so gradually that each shift feels like a soft breath of the landscape. The hippo lives within these cycles, experiencing them not as abrupt events, but as gentle variations in light, sound, and water. In the rainy months, the river rises, extending its arms into the surrounding plains. Shallow pools form where dry earth once lay, creating new places for the hippos to drift and rest. The water carries a cooler touch, and the sound of its movement softens into a steady, expansive hum. The hippos adapt effortlessly, floating through the broader world with calm curiosity. During the dry season, the river becomes narrower, revealing smooth stones and gentle slopes along the banks. The water warms slightly under the sun's longer gaze. Hippos settle into deeper areas, allowing the cooler depths to envelop their bodies. The smaller pools left by the receding water shimmer like polished mirrors, holding small gatherings of fish and plants that find comfort in these quiet retreats. Each season brings its own palette of colors. The rainy months paint the river in deep blues and lush greens. The dry months shift the landscape to warm golds and soft browns. The sky transforms in gentle gradients, morning pastels stretching into the soft amber of late afternoon. Through all these changes, the hippo maintains the same unhurried rhythm. Its movements do not need to become faster or slower. Its habits remain steady. It does not resist the flow of time, but glides with it, allowing each season to wrap around its life like a different kind of blanket. Plants respond with equal patience. Reeds grow taller when waters rise, then bow gracefully when the river retreats. Trees along the banks release new leaves with quiet timing, their branches shaped by years of listening to water and wind. Every living thing moves together in a gentle choreography, each season guiding the next without urgency. For the hippo, each season feels like a deeper layer of familiarity. The animal does not cling to one state or resist another. It accepts the rising and falling waters, the shifting light, the changing scents carried by the breeze. This openness becomes a lesson in calm adaptability. Imagining these flowing seasons encourages the mind to settle. Changes do not need to be abrupt. They can unfold softly, offering new forms of comfort witut pressing us to respond quickly. The river glides forward, the seasons turn their quiet pages, and the hippo remains peacefully within each one. Along the river's edge, many species share the same peaceful space, forming a network of gentle cooperation. Nothing in this community feels forced or deliberate. Each creature moves in a way that supports others simply by following its own calm rhythm. When the hippo drifts through shallow water, small fish gather near its feet, exploring the soft currents created by its presence. These currents lift tiny particles from the riverbed, offering a quiet meal for the fish without any effort from the hippo. The fish, in return, glide around the hippo's skin, brushing lightly against its sides in a way that seems to bring mild comfort. Birds perched on branches observe the river with serene patience. A heron may step into the water, placing its feet with careful gentleness, never disturbing the hippo's rest. An oxpecker might settle onto the hippo's back, shifting its tiny weight in soft adjustments. The hippo accepts this presence as naturally as it accepts the breeze. Even plants participate in this gentle cooperation. Reeds provide shade along the shallows, allowing underwater life to flourish. Trees extend their roots into the riverbank, offering stability to the soil and creating cool refuges beneath their branches. Their leaves fall slowly into the river, drifting until they settle in places where small organisms can find nourishment. The river itself acts as a calm mediator. Its currents guide fish, lift leaves, and offer buoyant support to animals large and small. It creates space for coexistence, not through control, but through gentle shaping. Everything follows the river's lead, moving with ease and adjusting without tension. The hippo, though large, fits into this community with remarkable softness. Its slow movements, its drifting presence, and its quiet habits contribute to the harmony of the ecosystem. It never seeks to dominate the space. It simply exists within it, offering stability and subtle influence. Imagining this cooperation brings a warm sense of comfort. It is a reminder that coexistence does not always require complexity or structure. Sometimes it arises naturally through calm presence and gentle alignment with the environment. The hippo remains surrounded by these mutual relationships, each one unfolding with easy grace, a world where every species contributes to the quiet beauty of the river. Rest in the natural world is not an interruption. It is part of the rhythm, woven into the fabric of every creature's life. The hippo embodies this truth in a way that feels both ancient and reassuring. Its day unfolds in long stretches of calm, floating, drifting, grazing slowly under starlight, and returning to the river's embrace without hurry. The wild teaches that rest is not earned. It is simply taken when the body invites it. The hippo listens to these invitations with quiet wisdom. When warmth rises from the midday sun, it settles into the water. When evening brings soft breezes and cool shadows, it moves onto land in peaceful, steady motions. Each moment of rest follows naturally from the moment before. Even the river rests in its own way. Though always moving, its pace slows in the deeper pools where the water thickens into serene stillness. Leaves resting upon its surface drift slowly, caught in gentle eddies that hold them without force. The reeds rest in their swaying, the trees in their shaded silence, the birds in their slow gliding arcs. Rest in the wild is not defined by stillness alone. It is a way of being that releases urgency. It allows each creature to exist comfortably within the landscape, without need for constant movement or effort. Even the hippo's breathing carries this softness. Long, even inhalations, followed by smooth exhalations that send faint ripples across the surface. When the hippo closes its eyes halfway, it is not disconnecting. It is attuning itself to the river's quiet pulse, letting the sounds of water and wind cradle its senses. There is no pressure to stay alert, no expectation to respond quickly. Rest becomes a shared experience between the hippo and the environment. For the listener, this lesson from the wild can bring a deep sense of relief. Rest does not require perfection. It does not need preparation. It can arrive gently, like a warm tide washing over the mind. Allowing rest to happen naturally without striving for it mirrors the hippo's simple wisdom. The hippo continues its slow breathing, floating in perfect ease. The river holds it softly. The world around it rests in harmony. This is what the wild teaches. Rest is not escape. It is alignment with the gentle rhythm of life. Slowness carries a serene quality in the natural world. It is a rhythm embraced by rivers, clouds, and creatures who move at the pace of comfort rather than urgency. The hippo expresses this serenity beautifully, existing in a state where nothing is rushed and each moment unfolds with a soft, patient grace. As the hippo glides through the water, its movement barely disturbs the surface. The river adjusts around it in smooth, gradual waves, welcoming the animal's presence as though anticipating it. This slow movement is not a limitation. It is a gift, an invitation for the world to align with its peaceful tempo. Even the hippo's breathing holds the essence of slowness. Each breath rises from deep within its body and spreads outward with steady ease. The exhale creates small ripples that glide away in widening circles, their gentle progress reflecting the calm rhythm of the animal's inner world. With each breath, the river seems to respond, its surface settling into deeper quiet. Slowness appears in many forms along the river. The drift of floating leaves, the languid sway of reeds, the gradual shifting of light across the water. These motions blend into a tranquil mosaic that encourages the senses to soften. The hippo moves through this mosaic effortlessly. Its eyes blink slowly, as if savoring the simple act of closing and opening. Its ears make small, rhythmic twitches that create tiny patterns in the water. Even when it changes position, the shift happens in smooth, rounded motions without any sharp angles or sudden gestures. This serenity invites reflection. In a world that often moves quickly, watching a creature that thrives in slowness can be deeply soothing. The hippo reminds us that slowness is not absence. It is presence. It allows awareness to deepen, breath to expand, and thoughts to settle into quieter spaces. The river too carries this lesson. Although always moving, its pace varies with depth, temperature, and landscape. It flows steadily, with no need to rush. It holds everything that enters it with equal calm, drifting petals, soft mud, dappled sunlight. For the listener, imagining this serene slowness can ease the mind into a gentler state. Each detail encourages a slower breath, a softer gaze, a quieter inner world. The hippo continues its unhurried drift, perfectly aligned with the river's calm. Together, they form a portrait of serenity, slowness not as delay, but as peace. As the night begins to soften around the river, the hippo drifts back toward a familiar stretch of water. an area it returns to again and again with quiet certainty. This place does not stand out in bold ways. There are no markers, no dramatic features. Yet something about the gentle slope of the riverbed and the coolness of the currents offers the hippo a sense of home. The water deepens here just enough to cradle the hippo's body in full comfort. The currents slow into a soft, steady flow, creating an environment that feels like a natural resting place. The hippo lowers itself gradually, letting the cool water rise around its shoulders, then its back, until only the top of its head remains above the surface. This return is not a retreat. It is a settling, a rejoining of familiarity. Night sounds gather in quiet layers, a distant rustle of grass, a gentle stirring of insects, a soft whisper of breeze passing low over the river. All these sounds blend into a peaceful chorus that accompanies the hippo's return. The animal breathes with slow consistency, each inhale drawing in the warm night air, each exhale forming a soft ripple that glides outward. These ripples drift without urgency, mingling with the gentle swell of the river. The water receives them easily, smoothing their edges until they fade into calm. Returning to still waters is part of the hippo's natural rhythm. After wandering through grasses under starlight, after drifting along subtle currents, this quiet section of the river offers a tender embrace. It is a place shaped by familiarity, where the hippo knows the depth, the temperature, the softness of the riverbed beneath. The landscape around the river seems to acknowledge the hippo's presence. Moonlight rests gently on the animal's back, outlining its shape in cool silver. Reeds sway in slow arcs, creating patterns on the water's surface. Everything feels aligned, as if nature has arranged itself to support this moment of rest. For the listener, returning to still waters becomes an invitation, an encouragement to settle back into the familiar comforts that the mind recognizes, even if wordlessly. There is ease in finding a quiet place that holds you gently. The hippo remains here, breathing peacefully, resting deeply, a calm center within the river's quiet night. As night fully settles, the river's movements become even more subdued. The surface smooths into a glossy, glass-like sheet, broken only by the soft breathing of hippos and the quiet drift of floating leaves. The day's activity dissolves into calm, leaving behind a world shaped entirely by stillness. The river's pace seems to match the softness of night. Currents that once carried subtle movement now slow into gentle threads. Warm breezes fade into cool whispers. Light from the moon spreads across the water in a faint, shimmering veil. The hippo rests within this calm, half-submerged, its body aligned with the river's slower breathing. The animal moves only occasionally, a slight shift of weight, a small rise to the surface for air, all unfolding with the same softness that defines the night. In the distance, faint sounds drift through the darkness, the wings of a night bird gliding overhead, the quiet lapping of water against the bank. These sounds appear in soft intervals, each one swallowed gently by the wide, open quiet. Nothing interrupts the stillness. Everything becomes part of it. The river reflects the sky in muted tones. Stars shimmer in long, wavering reflections, stretching across the water as if reaching to touch the hippo's resting shape. These reflections move only slightly, creating a slow, soothing rhythm of light that dances in time with the hippo's breath. Nightfall brings a spacious calm, a widening of quiet that feels both grounding and expansive. The hippo senses this naturally, easing deeper into its restful state. Its eyes remain half closed, taking in only the soft outlines of the landscape. Its ears twitch occasionally, responding to subtle vibrations rather than sounds. As we observe, our own inner pace may begin to slow. The river's decreased movement, the softness of night, and the hippo's peaceful presence create a sense of deep quiet that settles gently into the body. Thoughts drift at a slower tempo. Breathing finds a smoother rhythm. The river slows with nightfall, and everything within it drifts toward rest. It is a time when nothing needs to be done, a time when quiet becomes a comforting blanket over the land. The hippo remains still, held by the calm night water, carried effortlessly into peaceful rest. Earlier in our journey, the river placed a gentle question beside us. What does a creature shaped by water teach us about moving slowly through the world? Now, as night deepens and calm settles into every corner of the landscape, we return to that soft question, not to answer it, but to touch it again with new quiet. The hippo floats peacefully in its familiar waters, half present in the world above the surface and half resting in the dim tranquility below. Watching this creature now, surrounded by the softness of night, the question begins to feel less like something to ponder and more like something to experience. The hippo teaches through presence, not effort, through slowness, not striving, through calm alignment with the world rather than attempts to change it. Its life becomes a gentle illustration of how movement can be shaped by ease, how rest can be embraced without hesitation, and how being held by one's environment can bring profound comfort. As night deepens, the river becomes a quiet mirror for these ideas. Its surface smooths into stillness, reflecting moonlight with serene clarity. The breeze quiets. The sounds soften into a faint hum. Everything seems to say, there is time, there is space, there is no need to hurry. Returning to the question now feels like stepping into the shallowest part of the river, warm, gentle, familiar. The question is not meant to be solved. It is meant to rest beside you, as calm and unobtrusive as the hippo resting in the water. Perhaps the hippo teaches that slowness is not absence, that stillness is not emptiness, that calm is not withdrawal. Instead, each is a way of listening to the world more deeply. The hippo drifts slightly, sending a small ripple outward. The ripple expands and fades, leaving the river's surface smooth once more. This quiet exchange between movement and stillness becomes a metaphor for how the hippo, and perhaps we, can exist with ease. In the gentle darkness, the question breathes softly with the rhythm of the river. How might we move through life with the same quiet peace? A question to hold, not to answer. Across the surface of the calm nighttime river, ripples appear with delicate precision. Small arcs of light and movement that drift outward before dissolving into the wider stillness. Every ripple forms a quiet story, written momentarily on the water's surface. When the hippo exhales, a soft plume of air rises and creates a smooth circle around its nostrils. The circle widens gently, each ring separating into the next with tender ease. Soon, the ripple merges into the river, erasing itself in the same calm way it appeared. These ripples hold simple lessons. They show how small movements can spread without force, how gentle actions can travel far without disturbing anything, and how even noticeable patterns can dissolve peacefully into the whole. The hippo creates ripples without intention, a subtle shift of its body, a small lift of its head, a slow descent beneath the surface. Each action gives rise to a visible echo that stretches outward, touches the landscape lightly, and disappears into smooth water. Even moonlight responds to these patterns. The reflected glow bends and stretches, following the ripples and soft waves. The light does not resist the movement, it adjusts, flowing with whatever shape the ripple creates. This harmony between light and water reinforces the soothing message written in every wave. Around the river, the reeds lean slightly, swaying just enough to acknowledge the ripple's gentle presence. Small birds resting in branches remain undisturbed, their silhouettes steady in the soft night air. The entire landscape seems to read these lessons without reacting, as if already understanding their quiet truth. Ripples teach us that influence can be soft, that change can happen gently, that movement does not need to be loud to matter. As the hippo continues to rest, the ripples appear and vanish in an easy rhythm, some barely noticeable, others stretching a little farther, all part of the same peaceful exchange between the hippo and the river. Imagining these ripples can soothe the mind. Their appearance offers comfort, their fading offers release. They encourage a letting go, a recognition that not every movement needs to leave a lasting mark. Some can simply pass through the moment, bringing calm and then returning to quiet. The hippo breathes again. Another ripple forms. Another lesson dissolves. Night holds the river in a gentle embrace, and the hippo settles deeper into its restful space. The glow of the moon softens, spreading across the water like a thin silver veil. The air cools just enough to bring comfort, wrapping itself around the landscape in a calm, tender hush. The hippo lowers its head slightly, letting the water rise over its ears. Its body aligns with the stillness, moving only when the river encourages it with a faint shift of current. Every part of the scene feels unhurried, timeless even, as if night has expanded to make room for rest. Reeds along the riverbank sway in slow, rhythmic patterns. Their soft whispers blend into the quiet, creating a gentle soundscape that lulls everything into deeper ease. A few distant insects sing in muted tones, adding small accents to the night's calm melody. Even the sky participates, holding its stars steady in a soothing, unwavering glow. The hippo's breathing becomes the most prominent rhythm in this stillness. A long inhale, a soft exhale. Each breath sends tiny ripples outward, marking the passage of time in peaceful intervals. These ripples fade almost immediately, smoothing themselves back into the river's silky surface. Night has no sharp edges here. Shadows blend into one another with soft transitions, creating layers of darkness that feel gentle rather than deep. The hippo remains relaxed within this subtle palette of cool blues and warm grays, drifting effortlessly between wakefulness and rest. As it settles more fully, its eyes close halfway in a gesture of quiet contentment. There is nothing the hippo needs to do, no movement required. The river holds it securely, and the night surrounds it with a sense of vast, comforting openness. For the listener, this moment offers an invitation to settle as well, to allow the body to soften, the breathing to deepen, and the mind to quiet. The night's embrace extends beyond the river, creating a sense of shared stillness that reaches the edges of the imagination. The hippo continues to float gently, embraced by darkness that feels warm rather than cold, peaceful rather than empty. The river hums softly around it. The sky leans close in silence, and the night cradles everything with tender patience. As night settles more deeply around the river, the last traces of daylight soften into a faint glow along the water's edge. This fading light does not disappear abruptly. It dissolves slowly, like mist drifting away from warm stone, leaving behind gentle shades of blue and silver that wrap the landscape in quiet calm. The river reflects this soft transition with a tender shimmer. Small pools of remaining sunlight glisten momentarily, then blend into the broad, dark surface as though tucking themselves in for the night. The hippo rests near the center of the river, its body almost completely still. Only the subtle rise and fall of its breath creates the smallest currents around it. Birds that once fluttered above now settle into their preferred resting places among the branches. Their shapes become quiet silhouettes against the dimming sky. Insects lower their chorus into soft, scattered notes that drift lazily across the air. Every sound feels drawn out, slowed, and softened by the descending night. The reeds along the bank shift with the breeze, but even their movement feels muted. Their thin leaves whisper gently as they brush together, creating a soothing rhythm that blends with the distant murmur of water flowing around submerged stones. These soft interactions form a kind of lullaby, one not sung, but simply offered by the natural world. The hippo lifts its head slightly, acknowledging the change in light. Its eyes catch the last bit of fading glow, reflecting a faint bronze before returning to the calm darkness. The water around it mirrors this deepening color, growing smoother and more unified, as though preparing itself for rest. As the light continues to withdraw, the river loses its sharp reflections, embracing a soft, dreamlike quality. The hippo becomes a peaceful shape, floating within this muted palette, held by shadows that feel warm rather than cold. This gradual fading encourages the mind to loosen its grip on the day. There is no abrupt ending, only a gentle invitation to let the world quiet itself, to soften, to breathe, to rest. The landscape releases the last of its brightness. The river settles into full night, and everything along its edges finds comfort in the dim, embracing calm. When darkness fully covers the river, only the softest shapes remain, gentle outlines of reeds, distant trees, and the smooth rise of the hippo's back as it rests just beneath the surface. In this deep quiet, the world seems to breathe with a slow, steady rhythm, and the hippo's own breath becomes part of this soothing pattern. A long inhale lifts the water slightly around the animal's body. A gentle exhale sends a small ripple outward, tracing a delicate ring across the surface. Each cycle feels unhurried, as though the hippo and the river have agreed upon a shared pace. The river responds to these breaths in its own subtle ways. With every exhale, the water glides outward in a calm, expanding wave. With every inhale, the surface stills again, settling back into a soft, mirror-like smoothness. This exchange continues without interruption, steady, predictable, deeply comforting. Even the air above the river seems to follow this rhythm. Cool night breezes rise and fall quietly, brushing past the reeds in time with the water's gentle sway. The sounds blend together, forming a pattern that relaxes the body simply by existing. The hippo does not think about breathing. It does not pace itself intentionally. It simply moves with the natural pulse of the world around it. We too can drift into this rhythm, allowing breaths to lengthen, allowing the body to soften, allowing thoughts to settle as lightly as ripples becoming still. The sky overhead holds a blanket of muted stars, shimmering softly in places where the river reflects their glow. These reflections stretch and contract with the hippo's breathing, turning the sky's light into a gentle dance across the water. Nearby grasses nod in slow agreement. Trees stand quiet and steady. The river, wide and enveloping, feels like a living cradle that rocks everything within it into deeper rest. Breathing becomes a shared experience. Hippo, river, air, listener, a single quiet rhythm holding the night together. The hippo releases another long exhale. The ripple travels outward, and the river answers with stillness, a soft harmony, easing everything toward peaceful sleep. Above the river, the night sky stretches wide and deep, filled with stars that shimmer in gentle, distant clusters. Their light touches the water with a softness that feels almost otherworldly, cool, delicate, and perfectly calm. Beneath these stars, the river settles into profound stillness. This stillness is not empty. It is full of quiet presence. The hippo, resting just below the surface, becomes part of this presence. Its silhouette blends with the water's soft reflection, creating an image that feels both grounded and dreamlike. Only the faint glimmer along its rounded back reveals where the animal rests within the darkness. The air is cool, carrying a faint sweetness from the grasses and trees along the bank. Each scent arrives gently, without insistence, drifting as softly as the glow of starlight. Occasionally, a night breeze slides across the surface of the river, creating a barely perceptible shimmer. These motions unfold slowly, never disturbing the quiet that the night has laid over the landscape. Even the stars seem to move at a slower pace here. Their reflections stretch across the water in long, trembling ribbons. When a ripple crosses their path, the light bends gracefully, then returns to stillness as the water settles once again. The hippo remains peaceful. It drifts in the gentle coolness, its eyes closed or half closed, its breath measured and soft. The world around it feels suspended, as though time has slowed to match the river's calm. In this stillness, thoughts might begin to drift as well. They loosen from their daytime shapes, becoming lighter, quieter, gentler. Nothing presses for attention. Nothing asks to be solved. The night encourages release, an unburdening of noise, a dropping away of weight, a settling into serenity. The hippo embodies this release completely. Resting in the cool dark, it trusts the water to hold it, the air to cool it, and the night to wrap around it like a peaceful blanket. Under the stars, everything feels connected. The river, the hippo, the drifting breeze, the listener's breath, all moving in the same soft direction, toward stillness, toward ease, toward sleep. The stars shimmer gently overhead, watching quietly as the hippo rests in the heart of the night. In the quiet center of the river, the hippo finds a deep resting place, surrounded by calm that stretches in every direction. The night has reached its most peaceful hour, a moment when even the faintest sounds feel softened, when shadows blend seamlessly into the contours of the landscape, and when every movement seems to slow into near stillness. The hippo drifts in this calm, its body held effortlessly by the cool water. Its broad back rises gently above the surface, forming a smooth silhouette that glows faintly beneath the muted starlight. Each breath is slow and even, sending small ripples across the water that fade before reaching the riverbank. Around the hippo, the wild rests as well. Trees stand motionless, their branches outlined in soft silver. Grasses sway only slightly, as if hesitant to disturb the night. The air carries the quiet hum of distant insects, so faint it feels woven into the fabric of silence rather than overlaying it. This is the heart of the wild, but not the wild of noise or movement. It is the wild of stillness, the wild of gentle rhythms, the wild that invites the entire landscape to breathe in unison. The river seems to hold its breath for long moments, smoothing itself into a mirror that reflects the sky. When the hippo rises slightly for air, the reflection bends softly around it, adjusting with patient ease. The water appears to cradle the animal without condition, offering rest in its purest form. As we watch, the boundary between hippo and river feels less distinct. They appear to share a single quiet existence, two parts of the same peaceful world. This shared stillness offers a deep sense of calm, reminding us that rest does not separate us from the world. It draws us closer to it. Imagining this moment can bring a similar closeness within the listener, a feeling of being gently supported by the surrounding world, of belonging to a space where nothing demands movement or thought, only rest. The hippo remains quietly in place, letting the night gather around it in soft layers. Still, peaceful, held. This resting state feels both grounding and expansive, a reminder that sleep is not an escape, but a return to a natural rhythm shared by every living thing. The heart of the wild beats softly, and within it, the hippo rests without interruption, without effort, without a single ripple of concern. As the night reaches its quietest depth, the river becomes a vast cradle of calm. The hippo remains nestled within this tranquility, its body supported by the cool water, its mind drifting gently toward sleep. The landscape around it softens even further, as though the entire wild has slowed to a tranquil pause. The moon hangs low, casting a pale glow that spreads across the water like a soft blanket. The river absorbs the light, smoothing it into faint bands that shimmer and then dissolve with the slightest motion. The air cools, moving in tender waves that brush against reeds, trees, and the hippo's resting form. Everything feels connected by the same slow rhythm. This is the moment when the day's journey comes quietly to an end. No conclusion, no turning point, only a gentle settling, a gradual release into deeper rest. The hippo lowers itself until only its nostrils break the surface. Its breathing remains slow and steady, guiding the water into tiny ripples that glide outward, growing fainter with each second. The river receives these final ripples with its usual patience, smoothing them into the wider calm. Around the river, the wild remains peaceful. Stars dim slightly behind a thin veil of drifting clouds. Reeds lean closer together, whispering softly. The earth exhales a long, cool breath. Everything in the scene reflects the same quiet truth. Calm is not found by searching for it, but by settling gently into what already holds us. The hippo surrenders fully to the night, trusting the river's steady support. Its massive body floats with surprising lightness, carried by waters that have cradled countless generations. There's no effort in this rest, only acceptance, only ease. As the listener, you may feel this ease traveling toward you, softening your breath, loosening the last traces of wakefulness. The river's rhythm becomes your rhythm. The hippo's calm becomes your calm. Night folds itself gently around the world. The water glows faintly in the moonlight, and the entire wild seems to hum the same tender message. Everything flows through the wild. Sleep in that motion. These final words settle over you like a soft blanket, inviting your thoughts to drift, your breath to deepen, and your body to surrender slowly to rest. The river holds its calm, the hippo sleeps, and the night welcomes you into its quiet embrace.